Hello, welcome to Tactical Air Rifleman. Today I'm going to be speaking about my rifle. After my last video, I had a few people asking me what I've actually done to it. So it's your basic Crosman SBR, SBR standing for short barreled rifle. This is the first version that Crosman brought out. They have brought out one since this one came into service, which is the Crosman R1, which is an identical rifle, however slightly different buttstock, and you have a different muzzle brake at the front, but I'll be going on to that shortly. So, Crosman SBR, it's a magazine fed CO2 gas operated air rifle that fires 4.5mm metal ball bearings. The magazine holds 21 ball bearings which are loaded right here, so you can see some in the bottom there. Gas takes 2 CO2 gas canisters which fit in here. You use about 4 magazines to the 2 gas canisters, so you get 4 mags out of that. The reason it's quite heavy on the gas is because it's a blowback action, so when you fire it, just like the live weapon, the working parts to go back to the rear. This is purely aesthetic, it doesn't actually do anything. Obviously the live weapon, the working parts go back to eject the empty case and to put in a new round into the breech. This is purely so it feels like the live rifle to give you the effect, and there is a bit of recoil from it as well. A lot of security companies use this weapon for training purposes, and it is a direct copy of the AR15. It's slightly heavier in fact, a metal construction and polymer. A little bit more heavy, but as you can see, very similar. It uses all the same accessories that you would put onto a live AR15 or an M4. So I'll start at the back, work my way to the front to show you what I've actually done to it. When you get the rifle, it doesn't come with any of this paraphernalia. So it's your basic bog standard rifle, no sights, and it comes with an absolutely awful buttstock, which is this thing. What were they thinking? Absolutely dreadful. I'll give you a slight idea of what that would have looked like on there. Yeah, dreadful. And you can't remove it. Unlike AR15s and M4s, they're all generic. So that's an AR15 stock I put on there. You just lift the handle, slide it off, and put whatever stock on you want. With this horrible thing, you can't do that because this section is actually fitted on there and you can't move it. I had to saw it off to change it. There is a couple of videos on YouTube how to change out your butt. I recommend you do because that's absolutely dreadful. It took me about half an hour to redo this. As I say, go onto YouTube, there's a couple of videos how to do that. So, new stock that I put on there. This is a Hague stock that I bought from Brownwells, which is an American company, but they on the internet you can get them over here in the UK. I saw them for about £80, I got this for £65 with Brownwells, so it's worth having. The reason I've got this particular one is because you've got 3 anchor points for your sling attachment, and you get a sling attachment there, it just clips out now, you get these all over the place. As I say, the actual stock is £65. You can buy stocks from £20 upwards, between £20 and £100 if you want to fill your boots. You don't have to go mad at all. At the end of the day, it's only an air rifle. I'm not going to go running out and you or storming Baghdad, so I don't need anything major. But that's a decent stock that you would have on a live rifle. Sling, I've gone for a cheapie. This was £15, I think, on eBay. You can pay up to £100, £150 for slings as well if you really want to. But as I say, my running days are over, as you can see. I'm not going to go out in the Ulu, I'm not going to be storming Baghdad. So for the work I'm doing on a range, that's perfectly acceptable. I've gone for a 2-point sling, anchor front and back. You can get 1-point slings as well, and there's all the different attachments you can get. The attachment I've got from the front, I've tried a few, I think you can see that. It's a very low level one. That was £9, I think. I think I've got it on eBay. You can get them AliExpress, Amazon do them. also put on another attachment there, which I bought off AliExpress, which is another sling attachment. That was £4. So, as I say, you don't have to spend a fortune at all. Right, moving up the weapon. Sights. Now, obviously, it comes with 2 flip-up sights, which are perfectly acceptable. You know, they work fine. This rifle, you don't really want flip-up sights. You want to have a bit of fun, so you want to get a red dot sight. There's loads of different red dot sights on the market. What's a red dot sight, basically? Battery operated. You get a little red dot, which is zero in to your rifle. Where that red dot is where the round lays. You can fire it both eyes open. You can see the red dot. It's a lot more quicker to actually firing the target. I've got an older one on here. I've got a 229, which is a copy of an IOTech. IOTech are a very well-known, established sight company. There's no magnification on this. This is a copy of their 229, which costs about 200 quid. I got this for 40 quid. I got this at Crawley surplus. It's a very good shop in Crawley if you're near there. Do go in, but they're online as well. But I've seen these for less than 30 quid as well. And I've got a magnifier. Because there's no magnification on this, you don't need to get a magnifier, because I say the range on this weapon is only about 30 to 40 metres. So you're perfectly fine with a red dot. But if you want to do a bit more fine shooting, get a magnifier. This is a G33, again a copy of an EarTech. There's several versions out. You've got the G33, the G43 is shorter. They can go from ×3 to ×6 magnification. You don't need the ×6. ×3 is perfectly fine, perfectly adequate for the range that you're shooting this weapon at. And it's flipped to the side. You can flip it either to the right, or if you flip to the left, you're allowed to be that way these days. You can just turn it around. There's some Allen keys here to switch it over to flip to the left. If your sight is a higher sight, you can also get brackets to actually raise it up. So normally when you'll be firing close targets, you'll be in that position, further away, just like that. There is a zeroing option on this, but you don't need to. All this does, you've got the up and down and deflection drum on it. That just centres the actual red dot. So the red dot is still firing to 0, but it just puts the red dot into the sight picture on your magnifier, so it looks a little bit better, but you don't have to do that. I've got to say, with the actual sight, you've got 2 options, red or green. There's just a switch that flips it over from red to green, and you can actually increase or decrease the illumination on it as well. This particular model works with 2 boogie box batteries, double A batteries, pencil batteries that go in the front there. I've had this sight for 6 months. I've been shooting continuously. I haven't yet had to change the batteries. If you wanted to get the next sights up from this, I'll show you on my R1. It's basically the same sight, but the later edition. So that's a 558, and that's G43. So 558, basically another version of the 229. It does exactly the same thing. G43, exactly the same thing as a G33. ×3 magnification, flips out. You can buy these together. Lots of sites do them for about £100, and there are copies of the original. The original EarTech will cost you about £800. Well, this is an air rifle. I don't need an £800 sight. This is perfectly adequate for what I actually need the weapon for. So that's your sighting system. Right, moving down. Pistol grip. The thing I like about this particular rifle, the Crosman series, is they take so many accessories. Just like the live rifle, you can interchange the pistol grips. The pistol grip this came with is perfectly adequate. It's plastic, bog standard M16 AR15 pistol grip, but I wanted the nicer one. This is a rubber one. This is a Hogue one again. Got this. I think I got this from Brownells as well. This cost me about £35. Very easy to change. There's a screw in the bottom. Just unscrew it. It drops out. When you do take it out, bear in mind there are 2 springs in here. You've got a spring for the firing, the actual trigger, and a spring for the change lever. Be careful when you remove that, and some drilling will be involved. There are a couple of videos on YouTube as to how to change that. It doesn't take long. You just have to drill a small hole out for one of the springs, and it feels a lot better as well. Also, on this particular one, there was a gap in between the actual top middle section and the trigger housing. So I put in, you can probably see there, as a cable ties, just cut down and glued in place. Stops any movement, makes it more aesthetically pleasing. Moving forward, got a magazine, flared magazine magwell. I've never heard of these when I was a child. Since I got into cyber shooting, they're quite popular. Why would you want one of these? It's easy. When you're doing quick reloads, which on a lot of the drills I do now, you don't have to look. You can just slide it, you can get it there and it goes straight in. You see. Also protects the actual magazine housing. Bearing in mind this isn't a metal. The lower receiver, which is what the Americans call this lower section, I would call it trigger mechanism housing, but we call it the lower receiver, is polymer. So it's not metal. So if you're jamming a magazine in there all the time, bear in mind this section is metal, you might damage it. So this actually protects it. This one's a Fab Defense one that I found online. It was £25. Since then, I found cheaper ones. The cheapest one I found is AliExpress. I'll show you on my other rifle. That's an AliExpress one that was half the price. Slightly different design. They basically plagiarised, I think, Fab Defense and their design. This one also, if I wanted to, you can get skulls and things that actually clamp onto the front of there. Quite leery. I didn't bother with it myself, but if you want to fill your boots. So that's your magwell. Coming to your foregrip. Now there's absolutely hundreds of these on the market. The weapon itself came with one I didn't particularly like, that was a horizontal one. So I just binned that, I'm straight off the Picatinny rail. I've got one of these. This, I can't remember what make this is. It might be a Fab Defense. It also doubles as a bipod, which is on firing a prone position, which I don't do a lot these days, as you can tell, or firing it on the table. It's quite useful. And also when I'm not using the weapon, it means I can put it down, it doesn't get dirty. You can find these everywhere. eBay do them, AliExpress do them, Amazon. I think I got this on Amazon for about £15. I've got three of these, I've got three rifles, so that's quite useful as well. So moving along, torch. Why do I need a torch on an air rifle? Well, I don't, but obviously I've done my best as a hobby to make this into a special forces rifle, so you've got to have a torch, haven't you? Also, if you're into airsofting, which I'm not, you can use it for that. This is a direct copy of a Surefire torch, which are, it's a very well-known company. They make pistol rifle torches all over the world. They're quite expensive. They're normally a couple of £100. I've got this. It's a Chinese copy for, I think it's £59 on eBay. You have to wait a while because it's coming from China. It took about 3 weeks to come, but it's good. I've got 3 of these actually. It does come. You can switch it on. There's a switch here, as you can see. But it also does come with a cable and a stick down switch, which are crap, to be quite honest. You peel off the back, it sticks along here, wherever you want it. They don't last 5 minutes. I don't use that. I've got an augmented switch, which I'll go on for a minute, which will look better. You can get cheaper torches. You can get £15 if you want to. They don't look like this. I wanted this one because it looks more well indeed. It's a direct copy, the Surefire. Going back to the sights, you can get cheaper sights as well. You can get sights from 15, 20 quid. I opted for the more military looking sights because again I wanted the rifle to look as authentic as possible. So you can spend an absolute fortune, you can spend 15, 20 quid. Moving around to the other side of the weapon. It's PQ15. It's a laser basically. It's a copy of the more expensive one, obviously the military use. This is polymer. A live one for a live rifle will cost you several hundred pounds. I think it's cost me 40 quid on eBay. You have a choice. It's either red or it's green, the actual laser. You can't have both, so red or green. You see it in all the films with the red dot. To be quite honest, I prefer the green dot, so I've got red and green. I've tried both. In certain lights, you can't actually see the red very well, so that's why I prefer green. It's also got torch. It goes onto a strobe mode as well. It's got an IR torch, allegedly, but I don't have any night vision, so I don't know if that works or not. Why have I got a laser, as this is only an air rifle? Because it's a bit of fun. It means if you get bored with shooting cans, flip the laser on, You can get some falling plates as well. You don't have to even look down the sight. Where the red dot, green dot goes, it's where the round lays. Easy to zero as well. Once your sight's zeroed, you just get onto the laser. It has a deflection and up and down, right and left, here and here. You should just turn in to your actual point on the rifle and on the rifle sight, and you find to good go. One thing to remember, if you're running around, if you're doing airsofting and you bang it, the laser sight just goes slightly out. So do check it from time to time, and that's very easy. You just look through your actual sight and see where. So put the dot on and see where it is. Another thing to remember is it is a laser, so it can be classed as a weapon. So don't point it in anyone's eyes. And this also comes with a rather silly little switch with a bit sticky on a cable, which you don't use. You want one of these, which is an augmented switch. These have been around for a little while. I've got a double because obviously I've got two devices that works on. They come, as you can see, they have generic fittings. The fitting here is generic for torch. The fitting that I've got on this one is generic for all lasers. They all seem to be the same, but when you buy the actual switches, make sure that they've got the right switches that you actually want, because some of them, some of them you don't want to get one that's got two torches on, one that's got two lasers on, and these literally just slip into there. The front of the rifle. Now this weapon, the SBR, came with a god-awful, wasn't even a flash illuminator, wasn't even a muzzle brake. It was about that long, and it was absolutely dreadful. So the first thing I got was a fake suppressor or silencer. Unscrews. It's counterclockwise. Literally just comes off. These are all generic sizing as well, so it's 14mm CCW counterclockwise. It literally unscrews just like so. You can buy these anywhere, all airsoft shop, rifle shops. I think I've got this, it might have been Brownwoods, or I might have got it on eBay. So as I say, these aren't expensive at all for your boots. Or you can get, if you don't want to go for the silence option, you can go for all different sorts of flash illuminators or muzzle brakes. So I've got one here. This is actually the one that came with the R1, and different length sizes for rifle barrel. That just screws on there. I've got that off eBay. That was a tenner. So you can, whatever you want to do, you can put on to your front of the weapon. As I say, it's 14mm CCW. So very important, 14mm CCW. But they do clockwise ones as well. It's a generic size that they all seem to use. Coming on to the magazine, let's say you get one magazine when you get the rifle. It's magazine fed weapon, you want two because you want to do 3 reloads, otherwise what's the point? I've got a rubber sleeve, it just fits on the bottom. It just makes it feel better, it looks better. Just the first one I saw, I got on eBay, it actually cost 14 quid, and then I saw that you can get them a lot cheaper on AliExpress for £3. Exactly the same thing, you just have to wait for it for longer. So as I say, that's what you want for your actual magazine. Now the next version up for this rifle is the R1. Just so many people complain about the ridiculous stock on it, they brought out one with an actual proper removable stock, so you can interchange it with any AR15 or M4 model, and the actual, it had that on it at the front, so that flash illuminator, to say you can. I've obviously thrown on a suppressor just because you can. As you say, I've done practically the same modifications that I have done on this rifle. You can get this in black. When it first came out, it's produced in, I think it's Federal Dark Earth or sand colour they use in Afghan, but you can get it in black as well. But basically they're exactly the same rifle. The magazines are interchangeable as well, and they're very good fun to use. So there we go. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I hope you found this useful. Thank you.